Hello, my beaver friends. So, you are, of course, a water element. And here we go. Hard worker, loyal, tireless, family first. The beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home, financial stability. It's all very yin. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga, selfless service. I think that's also called yin yoga, but I'm not sure. When in balance, happy, meaningful work. When out of balance, feels useless and worn out. To bring into balance, physical labor and selfless service. Sorry about that. Okay. Next up, we have your tea leaf cards to let you know whether or not this is your reading. We have career and November, so perhaps something significant happened with your career in November. We also have the table, hard work ahead, which we already covered with your beaver card, but potentially a new job or career, which is interesting. Broken ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. If you've got a new career, perhaps this was a parting of the ways in a job. But you will be shown the way, so perhaps you're having some confidence or faith that things are working out the way they should be. If you've already found a new job and perhaps a new career, then I can understand you feeling that way. All right. Let's go the Animal Tarot and see what's going on with you. Why are you here? That's interesting. Your tower is not upright and it's not reversed. And now you have justice. Tower is a crossing influence. I wonder if it's happened or it's about to happen. King of Wands in reverse. That doesn't look like a good situation. But you have Nine of Pentacles and Justice. So it looks like you are being called to some inner work, which you probably already know. And we have an upright Queen of Cups and the King of Wands in reverse. The King of Wands in reverse is quite selfish, strong-willed, fiery, short-tempered, not tolerant. And somebody is doing some inner work here. Perhaps they are working on their Queen of Cups. Perhaps this King of Wands has had a realization. We do have the Tower here. So, it may be that this King of Wands is working on their Queen of Wands aspect. The Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups being about emotional intelligence, about being able to nurture and care for and consider other people's emotions, not just, be completely selfish about things. To start off with the Tower and Justice. The Tower is a crossing influence. That's really interesting. So if it's in reverse, I tend to look at it as inner change, an inner shaking of yourself, of your sense of self. and a realization that everything you thought you were, thought you knew about yourself, needs to be looked at, because you're not seeing things, haven't seen things, haven't been fair to others. Haven't taken responsibility, accountability. This King of Wands in reverse would not take accountability. But we do have the Nine of Pentacles here, which suggests there's definitely somebody doing some introspection, doing some work on themselves, figuring themselves out. This new career, new job, the broken ring, suggests that there was, in fact, some physical 3D world, material, I'm trying to say, material world shakeup of things. So it may be that you have the Tower as in a crossing position, a teeter-totter position, because both things have been happening. So this feels more like a where you're at now, and it does suggest that there's been a shakeup in your life, and it's causing you to do some real self-reflection, inner work. This is kind of a lesser hermit, so it would be an alone time for you. All right. White Wolf. Learning to trust your inner knowing, your instincts, your intuition, your resilience. Also freedom and stamina. I think perhaps you've been building some inner strength. Inner strength comes from knowing yourself, being in touch with who you really are from your own emotions. People who have very limited emotional intelligence are not strong people. They are quite brittle. So I can see where, exploring your inner Queen of Cups, getting to know your own emotional world, would really help you to be stronger, more confident, and have a better sense of your own inner guidance. However, we have a stalemate, so there's no progress. No action happening in your outer world, which, that's okay, honestly. You may be frustrated with it, you may not like it, and I understand that, but the Nine of Pentacles, like I said, it's a lesser hermit. It's not a time to go out and do things and be active. It's an internal time. Most of the work will be done by you on your own, or perhaps with a trusted mentor, advisor, therapist, something like that. Somebody who, there are therapists out there who have a strong spiritual orientation. There are even therapists out there who use tarot as a means of, they use it therapeutically, basically. Not that they do tarot readings for you. I don't think. I wouldn't know, honestly. But they might have you do readings for yourself, perhaps. Should contemplate the cards and see what they mean to you, because that will help you understand yourself better. So maybe this is really telling you that you should be using tarot cards. I don't know. We have your inner guidance system on top of your inner guidance system. This is the lighthouse on top of your white wolf. Again, the lighthouse is very much a hermit image. So, yeah. Developing your white wolf, your hermit qualities, your Nine of Pentacles qualities will help you rise above. They will help you see things differently, transition to a different perspective, develop your third eye, get in touch with your higher self. And there is a downside to all this. or maybe not a downside. So this kind of developing this kind of understanding about yourself has an effect in your external world, in your 3D world. It changes your relationships. It changes how you see others, how you see the way you see yourself, how you live your life. So it can very much create a tower. Like this. We have storm brewing, torn up, a sudden unexpected end, a total wreck, breakdown. Over and done, the end. But this can also be something that frees you to be yourself. Hopefully, it says strong emotions here. Hopefully, with this Queen of Wands here, you will have the ability to master your emotions and not simply let them run amok. So, it seems pretty clear that although you have been very family-oriented, I think, and maybe to the point of enmeshment, possibly, considering all the turmoil I'm seeing here, there may be some unhealthy aspects to your family connections. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you had a job in the family business, whatever that was. So that's really creating a lot of havoc in your life. It's definitely created an ending, which, we have that right here, don't we? An ending, parting of the ways. So, this is not news to you. None of this is news to you. Perhaps you have not seen it as an opportunity, though, which it could very well be. Let's look at the archetype cards, see what you should be focusing on right now. Interesting. We have the Lover. Okay. I didn't set a number. Wow, Gnosis. If you've looked into the Gnostic Gospels, they are very interesting. And conventional Christians generally find them very offensive. Okay, now then. I'm not sure why I mentioned that, but we have the Lover, which is 17, Gnosis, which is 75, almost at the end there, and Warrior, which is 10. I think you're going to need this Warrior energy. Okay, we'll start with the Warrior. The Samurai, the Soldier, the Advocate. We often envision the warrior as an armored figure with sword in hand moving blindly toward battle. Yet the deeper aspects of this archetype bring us face to face with death itself. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, trusting the eternal to guide the sword's blade. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. If and when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontations and violence are their default response. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. It is likely a great one, with deep roots and long-standing tensions. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles, so choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within, then surrender to the battle. When light, fierce clarity, purposeful action, resolve, and resilience. When dark threats savagery, abandoning mission and values. Without a true purpose, manifesto, or oath, the warrior is lost. What do you stand for? What are you willing to rise in the name of? Write it out. Be careful, as the warrior implies war. The two go hand in hand. Those who defeat others are strong. Those who defeat themselves are mighty. People always misunderstand that. You are your own worst enemy. Always. Okay. 17. The lover. The heart, the beloved, the devoted. Pulsing through the heart of the lover is gratitude. The lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The lover lingers in foreplay, aroused not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of self and other. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake, with no expectations or rules about what should be. Rather, the lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. When light, connection, expansion, devotion, awe. When dark, indulgence, attachment, obsession. The lover archetype is present everywhere, not just where conventional forms of pleasure and beauty are found. The lover's awe is unconditional. When you hold someone's gaze for several moments, you'll feel the lover within you awaken. It is common to seek the lover in another. The true gift is finding the lover in yourself. All right, on to Gnosis 75. This is in the final chapter of this book. Here we go. Innermost knowing, mystic truths. True knowledge is not found in facts and figures and scholarly books on library shelves. Rather, Gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. Those who are drawn to Gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling, not knowing is their job description. No matter how far the alchemists take their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip toward mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and become a guardian of Gnosis. The eternal mystery is calling you. Study your passion in the deepest way available to you. And I think you're going to have to fight for it. When light, contemplating the mystery, unanswerable questions. When dark, over-intellectualizing and literalizing, asking others instead of trusting yourself. You have all these cards about trusting yourself. Those who say they know, don't. Those who say they don't know, know. This card relates to the riddle and the shapeshifter. All concern themselves with revealing mystic truths. Well, I think you are on quite the journey. At times, I think you'll enjoy it very much, and at other times, I think you will feel absolutely devastated. I also think you have what it takes to keep on fighting, to keep going, because at times it will feel like a battle. And don't forget, love is at the heart of it. I am wishing you all the best in your journey.